Welcome, Norse fans, to Norsin Around, part of the Grueling Truth Radio Network. Remember, Norsin Around is brought to you by MyBookie, Bet with the Best. That's right, MyBookie, Bet with the Best. Of course, as always, I'm James Ernest, and my co-host, Alex Gray. Alex, what have the Norse been up to?
All right, so Northern Kentucky women's basketball team Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. hosted about 4,000-plus elementary students in a special Health for Hoops Day, Hoops for Health Day. Northern Kentucky lost 59-50 to Robert Morris. They dropped to 0-4 in the season, while Robert Morris picks up to 1-2. Grayson Rose led NKU with a career best of 12 points, and she also had 5 rebounds in the contest. The rookie center took full advantage of Robert Morris's fouls down low, going 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Michaela Terry added 9 points, 3 steals, and dished out 3 assists. And Samari Mowbray also had another strong all-around game for the Norse with 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. So the crowd was about 4,844 during Victor's Hoops for Health Day, promoted health education for local elementary schools. Very nice of NKU to do that. Women's basketball will play Oakland City at home. That's a November 25th tip-off scheduled for 1 p.m. at BB&T Arena and will be broadcasted on ESPN3. And if you're looking for the stats that I read you today, please log on to nkunorse.com for some additional information.
Excellent. So it sounds like, once again, the women having a little bit of a rough year, but like we said before when the season started, that there's a lot of new faces. You know, it's a rebuilding process. It doesn't happen overnight. And we're lucky we got a great coach. He's doing a lot of really creative and innovative things to keep the game competitive. So, you know, no reason to jump off a bridge or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just part of the process.
Exactly. So let's switch to where we all wish we were, the Bahamas.
The Bahamas.
Yes. I was going to say, you know, as we joked before, you know, of course, the pep band, you know, they have to take the pep band to the Bahamas, right? Oh wait, they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that. And then, you know, of course, the grueling truth here, you know, with our deep-pocketed backers and sponsors, you know, they sent us to the no. Mo Eggers got to go somewhere cool. I think he went to Grand Cayman or something like that for UC. Anyway, so that's our goal one of these days, to get to go to one of these really cool Thanksgiving tournaments. I was going to say, heck, I'll even settle for Las Vegas with Xavier. That wouldn't be a bad thing. So we start the tournament playing James Madison in the first round. Tell us about that.
All right. So the Norse got an 87-78 victory over James Madison to advance themselves into the semifinals. Levon Holland led all scorers with 24 points, also contributing 5 assists and 3 rebounds. Jalen Tate and Jordan Garnett chipped in 15 points each. Carson Williams and Drew McDonald added 12 and 11 points respectively. Carson also had 7 rebounds in that game. And so, again, big game. I thought the offense played really well. Some game notes. 5 players on the Norse had double figures. NKU finished the game 23 of 48, which is 47.9% from the floor. NKU scored 25 points off of 17 JMU turnovers. NKU also had 7 steals in the contest. Free throws were key to the Norse victory, as NKU shot 34 of 48. That's 70.8% from the charity stripe in the contest. And that was the first game against James Madison. And then they moved on to the semifinals against Iona.
Okay, before we go to that, the thing I really liked about the game is the depth. I mean, having 5 players scoring double digits is huge. You know, LeBron, of course, we'll discuss more about his Player of the Week honors for the Horizon League. I mean, Jordan Garrett, same thing, really nice game. Jalen Tate, Carson Williams, Drew McDonald, all those guys, you know, stepping up, doing what they need to do to make the team a winner. I mean, the nice thing about the team is the amount of depth and how many players are willing to play their role on the team. I think that's what I really enjoy about the Norse.
Yeah, I can see a lot of teamwork. I really think these players really work well together, and it shows. Everybody's scoring well. Everything's just looking pretty decent right now. It's pretty good.
Exactly. So that was a nice thing besides just being able to score in the game, Levon getting his 5 assists along with it. Same with Garnett getting 4 assists. So, yeah, in that game, not being stingy, being willing to spread the ball around. So now, like you were saying, in the next round, they play Iona. So tell us a little bit more about that game.
All right, this was the semifinals of the Islands of the Bahamas Showcase. NKU won 85-72, moving them on to the championship game. Stat leaders, Carson Williams led all scorers with 20 points. Also had 6 rebounds and 3 assists in that game. Drew McDonald and Jalen Tate had 15 and 14 points respectively. Levon Holland recorded 11 points in the contest. The big turning point in that game was that Holland hit 2 3-pointers in the last 2 minutes and 21 seconds of the game to help put the game out of reach. Some game notes. Iona has made 2 straight NCAA tournament appearances. They were picked as preseason favorites to win the MAAC this year. NKU had 8 players score in the contest, including 4 players in double digits. The Norse finished the game 31 of 56, that's 55.4% from the floor, and tallied 23 assists with all 5 starters registering at least 3. This was NKU's second win over a 2017 NCAA tournament team, as the team defeated East Tennessee State earlier this season.
I was going to say, it's good that they win, because, everyone always loves that. No one's going to complain about team winning. However, I'm a little disappointed. I don't see our freshman in there. Is it Vought? Am I pronouncing it right? Vought?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't see him in either of those 2 games. We want to get more action, don't get me wrong. We don't want to rush him too much. But it's always nice to see him get an opportunity out there because, like Coach has said, he has got such a bright future for us. And then, of course, tell us about the championship game.
Yep. So they took on Vermont, and it was an extremely close game. NKU did lose that game 66-64. Stat leaders, Vermont's Anthony Lamb and Trey Bell Haynes were the top 2 scorers in the game, had 26 and 19 points respectively. Levon Holland led NKU with 14 points, and Carson Williams and Drew McDonald added 12 and 10 points respectively. Dantes Walden and Jordan Garnett each had 9 points in the contest. The big turning point in the game was Trey Bell Haynes of Vermont converting a layup with 3 seconds left in the game to put Vermont ahead 66-64. And as for game notes, the loss snapped a 4-game winning streak for the Norse. NKU finished the game 25 of 54, that's 46.3% from the field, but just 6 of 22, that's 27.3% from the 3-point line. Vermont out-rebounded the Norse 38-20 in the game. The Norse had 15 assists on the 25 made field goals, and Vermont is the 3rd 2017 NCAA tournament team that the Norse has faced this season. They are now 2-1, NKU is, against those opponents. Next up, NKU will return to the U.S. on Saturday at Memphis, November 25th, tip-off scheduled for 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, and the game will be broadcasted live on ESPN3.
Exactly. And Coach wasn't being modest when he was saying this is probably the toughest mid-major tournament out there to be in. Like you said, there's 2 teams, that they played in the semifinals and finals, respectively, that were in the tournament last year. That's pretty impressive. So obviously you've got to add Northern to that mix as well. So that's at least 3 teams that were in the tournament last year that were in this tournament in the preseason, or not preseason, or in the early season, in the non-conference. And then you're right, going to Memphis is going to be a tough one. However, the nice thing about that is it should be on ESPN3, and it'll be on the radio on 15:30. So fans will get an opportunity to hear that. But them playing against a pretty solid opponent in Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis has always been pretty consistent, pretty solid. And I do believe NKU does have this advantage in hand because they just came off playing 3 pretty good teams that have been in the NCAA tournament in the Bahamas. So I think that'll be a good game there.
Oh, definitely. And, of course, the nice thing is, we don't have to worry about Derrick Rose is not coming out of that tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, when people think of Memphis, I mean, you're right, Memphis has been consistent, but they're nowhere near the crazy powerhouse they were at one point in time.
Yeah.
And, they've had a little bit of a tough schedule, too. I mean, they played Bama, who's rated number 25 in the country, so they've already played them this season. So they're 2-1, so Memphis, got some good going for them. So, what other good things are going on with the Norse?
Well, other 2 basketball games coming up for the Norse. Wednesday the 29th, they return home against Berea College. And, they're playing a couple of Kentucky schools on December 2nd, 7 p.m. They'll take on Morehead State at home. That game is going to be on CW Cincinnati, so better tune in for that one.
Definitely. That is, anytime you can support the local teams, if you can't make it out to the game, always check it out on CW. Great network.
Definitely.
So let's see. Any other sports we got going on with the Norse?
At the moment, I don't think so.
Okay. Sounds good. So for mybookie.ag, the Grueling Truth Radio Network, James Ernest and Alex Gray, we're signing off till next week.